Epictetus once said that things are not good or bad by nature. It is our judgments and opinions that make them that way. Stoicism is a way of life that helps us decide who to trust and respect as we go through life's many relationships and encounters. Today we'll look at some thought-provoking examples of people who may not deserve our trust and respect according to the Stoic way of life. Because virtue is more important than anything else, Stoic thought says we should only trust and respect people when we have to. This means we should be careful who we trust and respect, from the ghosts of lies to the quiet echoes of flattery. Let's talk about 9 types of people who make it hard to trust and respect others. Before we begin, let's all think about how these people make you not trust and respect others. How does Stoicism help us react with calm and wisdom? Because we don't find comfort in being judged, it's in understanding and insight that lead us. Are you ready to begin this important journey? Every challenge is a chance to grow and learn, and every experience is a chance to learn how to live a good life. Leave a statement to show that you want to learn more about the timeless teachings of Stoicism. Getting the knowledge and strength to know when someone doesn't deserve our trust and respect is important. Let's also work on building the qualities that make us deserve it. Number 1, the gossip monger. When people interact with each other, trust and respect are the most important links. However, some people cut themselves off from the virtue of integrity by the way they act. For example, Clara was known for liking to spread rumors which at first seemed harmless. Soon, whispers that were meant to be private changed into a web of mistrust and disrespect among her friends. Clara, who had been a confidant, was left alone with her words no longer. Stoicism teaches us that what we say should reflect the kind of person we are. Gossip, on the other hand, goes against the Stoic values of being honest and respecting others. It breaks society down by making people hate each other and spreading lies. Gleeful people don't have self-control and don't respect others' worth, which are all things that are against the lessons of Epictetus. A Stoic philosopher once said that our character is more important than our reputation, because it shows who we really are, and our reputation is just what other people think of us. What he meant by this is that gossip hurts both our character and our reputation, so we should pretend to be gossipers and talk to each other with honesty and respect. Hey, monger. If we want to live in harmony with our true nature and build relationships based on trust and respect, we should be careful with our words and make sure they aren't used to put others down or start fights. Instead, they should be used to encourage and bring people together. Let this story of Clara serve as a reminder of how harmful gossip is and how important it is to nurture relationships in the world of Stoicism. If we want to live a good life, what we say is just as important as how we say it. Gossip isn't just idle chatter, but it can have a big effect on relationships and social exchanges. The main person in this story is the gossip. The word monger refers to how rumors and stories get passed around in groups. By studying the mind and effects of gossip, we can see how difficult its role is in how people connect with each other. People use stories as a form of social currency to show how powerful they are and help friends move up in social groups. Monger makes money with this currency by using what they know to change people's thoughts and relationships. This is why people talk about other people. People naturally like to talk about other people because they are interested, want to make friends, or want to get better. The gossip monger uses these drives against people. By spreading lies to get what they want or to satisfy their own emotional needs, people change relationships. Gossip can bring people together by getting them to share what they know, but when it's done carelessly or on purpose, it can destroy trust and relationships. How organizations and cultures work together. Many places, like schools, workplaces, and neighborhoods, have a lot of gossip. The way that gossip works shows how culture norms and power systems work. Monger is skilled at manipulating these systems and changing people's views and social roles by carefully spreading information. Gossip may seem harmless or fun, but it can have serious consequences that can hurt people's reputations, lead to arguments, and cause mental pain for those who are the target of rumors. It's important to understand the moral effects of talk in order to lessen its negative effects and promote a culture of trust and respect. By looking at the role of the gossip monger and how gossip works in society, we can learn more about how people act and how important it is for communities and relationships to have healthy communication. Number 2, the selfish person. If so, you probably feel slighted and disrespected every time someone's anger or pride gets the best of them. At the heart of these situations is probably a narcissist, someone who is too focused on themselves, their pride and their own needs, often at the expense of others. We see narcissism as more than just self-love. It's an inflated sense of one's own worth and a desire to always be the center of attention. The narcissist wants to be admired. Think about the story of David. Because Damian was an ego, he slowly lost the trust of his friends. Over time, Damian's co-workers and friends stopped hanging out with him because they wanted relationships based on mutual respect and empathy, which Damian couldn't provide. Damian always wanted to be the star and rarely acknowledged other people's work or feelings. He needed to be validated all the time and couldn't celebrate other people's successes, which made him lonely. Smart people like Marcus Aurelius teach us that being calm means having a strong sense of self-worth. Marcus Aurelius told people not to praise themselves and stressed living a quiet and helpful life in the field of Stoicism. Nasty people don't deserve trust or respect because they do things that hurt other people and aren't good for everyone. Stoicism says to choose people to be with who show respect, kindness, and humility. These traits build trust and real respect, so even if we meet narcissistic people along the way, Stoicism tells us to be smart about our relationships and pick those who do not bring us down, but instead lift us up and share our lives instead of taking over. By doing these things, we align ourselves with the Stoic desire of a good and peaceful life. Number 3, the envious. Some people in the grand theater of life don't celebrate other people's successes. Instead, they look at them with envy. To spot someone who is jealous, watch how they react to the successes of their peers. Does their face light up with joy or darken with discontent? Jealous people don't just want what other people have, they also dislike those who already have it. Think about the story of Marcus, a skilled artisan who didn't share Julia's happiness when she got praise for her great work. Marcus felt bad for Julia's success and talked badly about it, which made their friends sad. Because Marcus was jealous, he did things that put him on his own and caused problems in their community. Stoic thinkers who knew a lot about how people act warned us about how bad Stoics said it so well. If you're jealous, it can eat away at your soul, making you care more about other people's success than your own. This can make you less happy and more focused on your own virtues. So envy doesn't just ruin our relationships, it also breaks down our character, making us less happy and more focused on our virtues. It's petty and selfish, and it keeps us from seeing our own potential and connects us to other people's successes and failures. Jealous people don't deserve our trust or respect because their actions aren't based on virtue, but on a destructive desire that destroys the harmony and mutual support that are needed for a community to thrive. Let's try to be people who celebrate other people's successes and see them as a source of inspiration instead of a threat. We align ourselves with Stoic ideas and build a group of people who share those values. Have you ever been around someone who was jealous? What did you do to keep them from bad having an effect on your life? Tell us in the comments. When we see other people with something we want but don't have, we feel jealousy. This feeling can range from mild anger to extreme jealousy, and it can have a big impact on our relationships and mental health. To get along with others and grow as a person, you need to know what envy is and how it works. Here are 5 things you should know about the definition and signs of envy. When you wish someone had done something or liked something that someone else has done, you feel envy. It generally shows up as comparing oneself to others, which makes a person feel bad about themselves or not good enough. When you compare yourself to others, think something is wrong, or have low self-esteem, you might feel envious. When we see someone succeed where we have failed or enjoy something we don't have, we may feel envious. Changes in the mind. It can be bad for your mental health to be jealous, as it can lead to more stress, worry, and even sadness. If you constantly compare yourself to others and feel bad about yourself, it can lower your confidence and keep you from growing as a person. Anger can ruin. It can make people more competitive and make it harder for friends, family, and co-workers to trust each other and work together. It can also make people angry and aggressive toward others. Methods of coping. The first thing you need to do to deal with envy, well, is to admit and accept that you feel it. Empathy for others, being grateful for what you have, and focusing on your own goals and successes can help you feel less envious. Having self-confidence and a positive view of yourself are also important for getting over envy and improving relationships to promote empathy, kindness, and personal growth. It's important to know what envy is and how it works. If we can spot and deal with our own envy, we can live a happier, more fulfilling life. Number 4, the always critic. It's a blessing to meet teachers who help us grow and be better people. These people and their helpful criticism pave the way for us to become better people, but it's important to tell the difference between real advice and the noise of constant CRI criticism. Critics don't always offer solutions. You may know someone who is quick to find flaws but slow to help. This person is the perpetual critic. If someone is always criticizing others without thinking about how their words might affect others, they are likely to say hurtful things that they aren't trying to say. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, says that criticism can be seen through the lens of, "This message tells us to pay attention. Don't explain your idea, live it." Less on the words of constant critics outside of us and more on the voices inside of us. A guide for morals and logic. People who are reserved don't like reviewers who always look for flaws and don't try to make things better. We can't grow if we let these people's words stay in our thoughts. They can also take away our peace of mind and sense of self-worth. Meaningful criticism can help us get better, but constant criticism doesn't always have the substance that makes things better. It's important to know the difference between the two. Learn to let negative criticism fall off like tree leaves, leaving you unaffected. Let's look for leaders who are honest and have a purpose, and remember that you earn respect and trust by being constructive, not destructive. By living by Stoic principles, we not only protect ourselves from the unhelpful criticism of the perpetual critic, but we also take an oath that is marked by growth, resilience, and virtue. Number 5, the manipulative individual. Alex lived in a noisy neighborhood. At first, his charisma and charm got him a lot of attention, but he was also very manipulative and often tried to get his way at other people's expense. Over time, Alex became more and more manipulative. He spread false rumors to change the group's mind or fake distress to get sympathy and avoid taking responsibility. Slowly, people in the community who used to be honest and trusting started to lose faith in Alex. Alex's actions didn't always match what he said, and things always seemed to work out for the best. Alex lost friends and respect as people stopped trusting him and cancelled plans to hang out with him. Conversations became shallow, and Alex's influence faded. Eventually, Alex found himself alone, which was a big change from his busy social life. In our everyday interactions with others, we often find ourselves at a crossroads, how to tell the difference between words that persuade and words that manipulate. This is an important distinction to make because persuasion aims to educate and promote understanding, while manipulation aims to trick for personal gain, offering no real value and eroding the foundation of trust and respect that real relationships are built on. Manipulative behavior is fundamentally at odds with Stoic principles, which value virtue, honesty, and integrity above all. Stoicism teaches us that our actions and words should align with these core virtues, fostering trust and respect in our relationships. When manipulation enters the equation, it erodes these foundations, leading to a loss of trust and ultimately respect. So how do we, guided by Stoicism, recognize and guard against the manipulative individual? First, we must cultivate discernment, a Stoic virtue that allows us to see beyond surface appearances and assess the true intentions behind words and actions. We must ask ourselves, are these words or actions serving a mutual good, or are they designed to benefit one party? at the expense of another manipulation, caused this isolation, not community harshness. It was a poignant reminder of the Stoic belief that our actions and choices define us. And in the pursuit of virtue, there is no room for deceit or manipulation. There are people who know how to manipulate others in every social group. It is very important to understand the strategies and reasons behind manipulative people, whether they are in personal interactions, the workplace, or even in society as a whole. We can keep ourselves and others safe from these bad habits. If we can spot them, here are 5 important things you should know about people who are manipulative. People who are manipulative often hide their true intentions behind anger, charm, or even flattery. At first glance, they may seem nice and friendly, but what they're really doing is only for themselves. To avoid being managed, you should learn to read people's body language and pay attention to what they're saying. Changes in how they act and ways to get what they want. Some of the things that manipulators do are lie, make people feel bad, gaslight, and play on people. They use the flaws and weak spots of their targets to gain control of a situation or an advantage over it. They do this because they know that these tactics can help us stay independent and fight their effects. Manipulation is done for a lot of different reasons, such as getting money or power control support. Some people are manipulative because they are deeply insecure or have been hurt in the past. If we know what someone is really trying to do, we can relate to them and stay safe from their harmful actions. Manipulation can have very bad effects, such as ruined relationships, low self-esteem, and even mental harm. When someone is deceptive, they often leave a mess of chaos and confusion behind, which hurts trust and breaks up relationships. The first thing that needs to be done to stop influence is to understand how bad it is. Defense plans. If we know what we're doing and are aware of it, we can come up with good ways to stop trickery. Important skills we need to have are setting boundaries, being braver, and being able to think critically better. Putting yourself around helpful and trustworthy people is another way to protect yourself from manipulators. By learning what manipulation is and how it affects people and society, we can work to make society better and more stable. The best way to protect yourself is to learn more about the world. Number 6. The flatter. Being honest with each other is a big part of gaining trust and respect. But there is a character in us called the flatterer whose lies destroy this very foundation. Thomas was known for making people look good. Too much. His words were nice, but they weren't sincere. Over time, his friends began to question whether or not he was telling the truth when he praised others, which hurt their trust and respect for him. Relationships that used to be deep became shallow because he liked to flatter others more than tell the truth. Why are people who flatter others seen with skepticism and weariness? Stoicism tells us that relationships based on respect and honesty are the best kind. It's dishonest to flatter someone, especially if it's over the top and not earned. It's a way to control them, instead of encouraging them. It's not meant to show real appreciation, but to curry favor. Stoic ideas stress how important it is to be honest and treat others with care. This behavior goes against those ideas. Something Seneca, Stoic philosopher, warned of the harms of flattery, saying it takes advantage of our flaws. When people praise others, it's because they want something. They show a lack of self-control and don't care about the Stoic virtue of being honest. Because of this, we should be wary of people who use flattery to get what they want and try to build relationships based on honesty and sincerity. We should also fight the urge to flatter others because we know that real respect and love come from being real. People have been using flattery for a long time and in many countries. With its sweet words and gestures, this subtle form of manipulation often seems harmless, but it hides malicious intentions beneath the surface. It's important to know how flattery works so you can get along with others. You can tell the difference between real praise and influence that is meant to trick you. Flattery often looks like real love or respect, giving the impression of warmth and appreciation when it's really just someone trying to get what they want by stroking the other person's ego. A skilled flatterer uses the other person's weaknesses and fears to get them to do what they want or stay loyal. They do this by making their targets feel like they owe them something, by stroking their egos. Keeping ego alive. When you praise a narcissist, you feed their ego and make them think they're better than other people. If someone gives you comments and praise that are too good to be true, it will hurt your ego. This keeps the cycle of dependence and manipulation going. Flatterers may seem charming at first, but they are actually telling you a lot of lies. Whether they want to get something for themselves, gain power, or just feel good about themselves, everything they say and do is carefully planned to help them reach their goals. Reach their goals by being aware and skeptical. Because people often hide their true feelings behind praise, it is important to become aware and skeptical. When people praise you, you can stay clear and strong. Trust your gut, question motives, and know the difference between genuine praise and planned manipulation. The play, The Flatter, shows how two-sided human relationships can be, with the lines between truth and deception, love and abuse, and trust and abuse being blurred. You can avoid falling for its seductive pull and build real relationships based on trust and mutual respect by learning how it works and its many layers. Number 7. Who was hurt? Some people always play the victim in the big story of our lives. They often wrap themselves in a mantle of misfortune, not as a real cry for help, but as a way to get sympathy and avoid taking responsibility. As a result, they don't see themselves as creators of their own fate, but as perpetual victims of circumstance, often taking advantage of other people's sympathy. Take Emily's case as an example. At first, Emily's friends felt sorry for her, but as they learn more about this pattern, they lose trust and respect for her. They understand that her constant victimhood is not a situation, but a choice. A refusal to deal with life's problems with being independent and being responsible. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, said, "It's not what happens to you that matters, but how you react to it." This saying supports the Stoic idea that we can control our character and how we react even when we can't change the outside world. It means that someone who lies about their problems and uses other people's kindness to get what they want is not being honest with themselves. Being brave, smart, and fair are some of the qualities that are. Not only does bad behavior hurt personal growth, it also destroys the trust and respect that are needed for healthy two-way relationships. To put it another way, empathy and support are important parts of our society, but they shouldn't be used by people who don't want to take responsibility for their actions. We need to talk to people who play the victim. By supporting people in a way that makes them take responsibility instead of letting them avoid it, persona with discernment upholds the Stoic ideals of personal responsibility and mutual respect. This creates a community where trust is gained through genuine interaction and shared growth. Feel free to join the chat below by telling us what kinds of people you deal with and how you deal with them. Number 8. The person who lacks empathy. Being empathetic is what connects us deeply with others, lets us share in their joys and sorrows, and helps us build a community based on compassion and a lot of respect. When we meet people who don't have empathy, we notice a dissonance in the harmony of human connection, an absence that slows the growth of a good community. Stoic thinkers, who put a lot of value on traits like honesty, courage, and moderation, knew that empathy was a key part of living a good life. For example, Marcus Aurelius, Stoic philosopher, once said that what hurts other people the most is pity. The hive hurts the bee. This profound saying shows how our lives are connected and how important empathy is for the health of our collective human hive. A person who doesn't have empathy sees the world through their own needs and experiences, not considering the emotional landscapes of others. If someone isn't affected by the happiness and pain of others, they can't help build a community that supports and understands each other. Their lack of empathy makes them feel alone and hurts the ability of others to feel compassion and share their experiences. It's clear that people who can't put themselves in others' shoes and understand and share their feelings do not contribute to a supportive and understanding community. Merit our trust or respect. Trust is built on understanding, and respect is grown through shared values and mutual respect, which are qualities that people who don't have empathy lack. In conclusion, let us heed the Stoic call to develop empathy, so that we can understand and care about others beyond ourselves and help build a community where trust, respect, and virtue thrive. In doing so, we not only honor the Stoic principles, but also create a world where understanding and mutual respect are important parts of getting along with others and making friends. Empathy, or being able to understand and share another person's feelings, is a basic part of getting along with others and making friends, but not everyone has it to the same degree. Some people have trouble understanding how others feel, which can make relationships and conversation hard. It's important to know how to get along with someone who doesn't have empathy. Not being aware of your feelings, people who don't have empathy often have trouble recognizing or understanding how other people feel. It can be hard for them to read body language, facial expressions, or vocal cues to figure out how someone is feeling. When this happens, they might not seem to care about or understand how hard it is for other people to get along with others. People need to be able to relate to others in order to build and keep connections. If someone lacks empathy, it may be hard for them to connect emotionally with others, including those around them, may feel lonely or alone because they can't talk to others. Empathy is important for good communication because it helps people understand and respond to others in the right way. People who don't have empathy may find it hard to connect with others through their words. They may come across as cold, uninterested, or even rude, which can cause tension or conflict. What is cognitive empathy and what is functional empathy? You should know the difference between cognitive empathy and practical empathy. When you have cognitive empathy, you understand another person's point of view mentally. To really understand someone else's feelings, you have to feel them too. Sometimes people are very good at cognitive empathy, but not so good at emotional empathy. Other times people may have trouble with both possible reasons and solutions. There are many reasons a person might not have empathy, including their genes, their parents, or mental conditions like autism spectrum disorder. People's natural level of empathy might be hard to change, but therapy, social skills training, and mindfulness techniques can help them become more empathetic and improve their relationships with others. To understand someone who doesn't have empathy, you need to have empathy yourself. We can connect and understand them better if we are patient, kind, and willing to see things from their point of view. Number 9. Those who judge. In its simplest form, judgment is an opinion or conclusion about someone or something. But when it comes to people, being judgmental means making a quick, often negative assessment of others without fully understanding their situation or character. For example, Sarah, who is proud of her discerning eye, sees Peter's simple outfit at a community gathering and decides right away that he lacks sophistication and taste. On the surface, it says that understanding someone instead of judging them. It means that everyone has their own problems and situations and should be understood instead of judged. Big Toe Stoics once said that because we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, we can listen twice as much as we speak. This shows how important it is to listen and understand before deciding what to think. Sarah doesn't follow this advice because she judges others because they don't have the knowledge that's needed to earn trust and respect. Their choices don't help people grow or understand each other. Instead, they cause conflict and negativity. It's okay to have thoughts. Being careful, having empathy, and really understanding how difficult people are all parts of Stoicism. People who judge quickly should stay away from these ideas because they hurt trust and respect. Let's try to live by the Stoic principles of wisdom. Fairness, courage, and moderation are what help people understand and care about each other in a community. They win over argument and criticism. The saying, "He who walks with the wise grows wise," seems to help us find good company. When we look at people who might not deserve our trust and respect, like the jealous, the uncaring, the constant critic, and the fake flatterer, we not only find people to stay away from, but also people whose choices and actions mirror our own. Socrates doesn't just tell us to stay away from certain people, it also tells us to choose friends who help us become more good and peaceful. Stoic said that we should surround ourselves with people who make us want to be our best selves, who share our commitment to virtue, and who help us live a happy, peaceful life. Remember the counsel of Marcus Aurelius, which said that the company of just and righteous men is better than wealth and a large estate. As we go forward, let us choose our companions wisely, for they shape our path to a good, fulfilling life. Thanks for watching and see you in next video.